I'm not really here today to talk about our current standards. I'm really here to talk about some changes that are coming, and also to let you know that there's a couple of important permits out there that are being renewed, and the public comment period for those permits are open. First one I'm going to talk about is Clean Water Services National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, or more commonly referred to as an NPDES permit. And you'll hear Clean Water Services staff refer to it as a watershed-based permit. And what that permit is a national permit that is issued by the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. It covers our discharges from our wastewater treatment plants, as well as discharges from the storm sewer system within the urban portion of Washington County. We have a current permit that has been expired for, I think, close to 6 years. It's been administratively extended, so this renewal is a long time in coming. And on October 12th, DEQ posted a draft of the new permit for public comment. That public comment period will extend till November 23rd. There's a public hearing on that permit here in Hillsborough at, I believe it's the Civic Auditorium, on the evening of November 12th. The permit requires Clean Water Services to do a great many things in order to protect the health of the Tualatin River and its tributaries. One of the things that it requires, well, several of the things that it requires us to do is to have a set of design and construction standards that address development and redevelopment, and as it pertains to sanitary sewer, stormwater, and erosion control. There are some changes coming, particularly as it relates to stormwater. So I'm not going to go into all of those today, but I would encourage you to take a look at that permit. It's available on DEQ's website. At the end of the presentations, we have some handouts from DEQ that tell you where you can find that permit online, the supporting documents for it, and how you can comment. And if you want to attend that meeting in Hillsborough on the 12th, where to go for that. What's going to result that I think will affect this group most directly from this permit is we will be updating our design and construction standards to include new requirements. We're likely going to do at least 2 updates because the permit has different start thresholds for these requirements. Typically 1 year from the implementation or the issuance date, or 2 years or 3 years from that issuance date. So I think we're going to do it at least as a 2-step process. We're hoping and expecting that we will see a permit sometime this winter. If the public comment period closes in November and DEQ is able to respond to most of the comments, it could be between January and March that we actually see the permit. So within that first year, we're going to have to change or update some standards to address things. So look for information on a new design and construction standard update soon. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, several of us will be available after the presentations to discuss it with you. The other permit that I need to mention is the 1200C and CN permit. This is a statewide erosion control permit, and frequently we talk about people getting a 1200C permit or CN permit for their project. What's really happening is you're being authorized under this statewide permit. There aren't a lot of changes being proposed for the 1200C permit, but what's important about this is the process that's going to happen as we transition from the existing permit to the new permit. The existing permit expires on November 30th, and they're anticipating having a new permit on December 15th. So I'm just gonna briefly mention a few things and then maybe open up for just a few maybe non-project specific questions about all of this. But there are some steps you need to take if you're either planning on getting a permit in the next couple months, or you have an existing permit and are actively working your site. And for those that have existing permits, you may have already received notice from DEQ, and some of the information in that notice is applicable. Some of it may be a little bit different because Clean Water Services is the agent for DEQ in urban Washington County. So some of the dates that you see in that may be a little bit different than what we'll be telling you. So if you have an existing permit that is greater than 5 acres, a true 1200C permit, you will need to file for an extension of that permit. That is the paperwork you may have received from DEQ. You can turn that into Clean Water Services. It needs to happen prior to November 30th. When you do that, that existing permit is administratively extended, and your project is covered under that extension until the new permit is issued. Once the new permit is issued, if you've filed for that, you will automatically be updated into the new permit. If you're proposing to do a new project that's over 5 acres, you're going to need to fill that form out along with your application for the 1200C. DEQ is saying that they want to see that application by the 31st of October. Within Clean Water Services District, we're looking at November 9th to see that application. DEQ has to be able to authorize that permit by the 30th, and if you're over 5 acres, there's a 14-day public comment period that has to occur before they can do that. So please, if you are planning on having a permit, getting a permit between now and when the new permit is issued, please try to get a permit in or application in by the 9th. If not all of your other plans are ready to go, we can work with you to see how we can at least get the 1200C part taken care of. If you're concerned that you won't make that date, please call us and talk to us so that we can figure out a plan. The good news is that if your project is between 1 and 5 acres and you either have a 1200CN permit or you need a 1200CN permit, you're not going to have to do anything special. If you're getting a new permit, it would be ideal if you can submit prior to November 30th or as early as possible. If you have an existing permit, no action is required from you. You may receive new paperwork from us when the DEQ issues the new permit. So I'm going to stop there. We do have a handout relating to the 1200C and CN permits that you're welcome to take with you and ask us questions afterwards. But if there are some general questions, I'd be happy to try to answer those now.